Find somewhere comfortable, somewhere your body can be heavy. You don't need to concentrate on any of this, and you don't need to remember a single word. Just let the sound of the voice arrive the way a light comes on in a distant room. Soft, not asking anything of you. If today was hard, you don't have to explain it. If you're tired in a way that goes beyond just needing sleep, that kind of tired that sits in the chest and behind the eyes, that's understood. You don't have to be okay tonight. You just have to be here, which you already are. We're going to spend some time with something quiet, something that has been studied and measured and written about in laboratories, but that was known long before any of that. Something your grandmother probably understood without needing a word for it. Something that on certain evenings you've almost certainly felt without realizing what it was. We're going to talk about gratitude. Not the greeting card version. Not the kind that asks you to pretend everything is fine. The real thing. The deep, biological, ancient thing that lives inside you whether you tend to it or not. The kind that can slowly and genuinely change the way your brain is built. You don't have to feel it right now. You don't have to feel anything at all. Just rest and let the words drift past you like water. We're in no hurry tonight. There is something interesting about the word gratitude itself. In English, it comes from the Latin gratia, meaning grace or favor or something freely given. And there is a quality to genuine gratitude that mirrors exactly that. It cannot be forced. It cannot be manufactured on demand. It arrives when it arrives the way grace does, quietly, without announcement. For most of human history, gratitude was considered a virtue, something to be cultivated the way you might tend a garden. Philosophers wrote about it. Religious traditions across the world, from the earliest Buddhist texts to the Psalms to the Stoic writings of Marcus Aurelius, placed thankfulness near the center of a well-lived life. Cicero called it the parent of all other virtues. Not because gratitude made you polite, because it oriented you toward the world in a particular way. Because it changed what you noticed, and what you noticed changed who you became. For a long time, this was understood as wisdom, as philosophy, as faith. It wasn't science. Science, for most of its history, was more interested in what goes wrong with the human mind than in what goes quietly right. That began to shift around 20 years ago. Two researchers, Dr. Robert Emmons at the University of California, Davis, and Dr. Michael McCullough at the University of Miami, began to ask what seemed like a simple question. What actually happens measurably when people practice gratitude? Not just as a feeling, but as a deliberate act, as something you do. What they found opened a door that researchers have been walking through ever since. And what lies behind that door is not what most people expect. Before we go any further into what gratitude does, it is worth sitting for a moment with what it actually is, because it is more interesting and more complex than the word usually suggests. Gratitude is not the same as happiness. You can be grateful and still be sad. In fact, some of the deepest gratitude arrives precisely in the middle of difficulty, when something small and good makes itself known against a dark background. The way a cup of tea feels generous when you are exhausted. The way a friend's voice on the phone can make the whole day slightly less heavy. Gratitude notices these things. Happiness doesn't require them. Gratitude is also not the same as optimism, that general forward-leaning belief that things will work out. Optimism looks ahead. Gratitude looks at what is already here. It is a present tense experience. It says, this exists. This is real. And it is in some way a gift. Psychologists define it broadly as recognizing that something good has come to you from a source outside yourself. That definition is useful, but it perhaps undersells the experience. Because the moment of genuine gratitude is not primarily an intellectual recognition. It is a felt shift. Something opens slightly. The chest or the belly or somewhere in between. Something that had been held gets, for a moment, released. If that sounds familiar to you, even faintly, even from a long time ago, then you already know what we're talking about. The science is simply a way of understanding something you have already felt. And here is where it begins to become genuinely fascinating. The human brain, this extraordinary organ that has been working all day on your behalf, that has been managing your worries and your lists and your memories and your fears, has a well-documented tendency to lean toward the negative. Researchers call this the negativity bias, and it is not a flaw. It is a feature. It was built in over hundreds of thousands of years of evolution because the ancestors who paid close attention to threats survived, and the ones who were easily distracted by pleasant things sometimes did not. So the brain keeps a closer eye on problems than on pleasures. It stores difficult memories more vividly than comfortable ones. It returns again and again to what went wrong, to what might go wrong, to what you should have said and didn't, to what is still unresolved. This is not weakness. This is your brain doing its ancient job. But it means that, in the modern world where most of us are not in physical danger most of the time, the brain is still running the old software, still scanning, still cataloging threats, still pulling attention toward the difficult and away from the good. Gratitude is, among other things, a gentle counterweight to this, not a way of pretending the difficulties don't exist, not toxic positivity, not a demand that you feel cheerful, but a training of attention, a slow, patient redirection of where the mind comes to rest. And that redirection, when it happens consistently, over time, does something to the brain that researchers can now measure. Imagine for a moment that you could watch your own brain while you were feeling genuinely grateful, not thinking about gratitude in the abstract, but actually feeling it, the warmth of it, the particular quality of recognizing that something good has found its way to you. What you would see in the kind of brain scanning studies that have been done over the last 2 decades is a kind of illumination. Multiple regions lighting up at once, and the pattern is both beautiful and deeply practical. The prefrontal cortex, the region just behind your forehead, the part of you that reasons and reflects and makes considered decisions, becomes more active. This is the part of the brain that helps you gain perspective. That can hold a situation and look at it from more than one angle. When gratitude engages this region, it is literally bringing your wisest, most measured self into the conversation. At the same time, another part of the brain quiets. The amygdala, that small, ancient structure deep in the brain that monitors for danger and triggers the stress response, reduces its activity. The alarm turns down, the vigilance softens. Not because the world has become safer, but because the brain has shifted its attention towards something that doesn't require a threat response. And then there is the reward system. The ventral striatum, the nucleus accumbens, regions that the brain uses to register pleasure and reinforce behavior. Gratitude activates these areas, releasing dopamine, the chemical that creates a sense of reward and makes you want to return to whatever produced it. This is, in the most literal sense, your brain enjoying gratitude, finding it satisfying, wanting more of it. Alongside dopamine, serotonin is released. The chemical most associated with a stable, steady sense of well-being. Not the sharp brightness of excitement, but the quieter warmth of contentment. And there is also oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone, the one that rises when you feel close to someone, when trust is present, when you feel genuinely seen. Gratitude, even when it is private, even when it is not directed at any specific person, seems to engage this system as well. What this means, in practical terms, is that feeling grateful is genuinely good for your body in ways that go beyond mood. Stress hormones, particularly cortisol, decrease. The nervous system shifts away from its fight or flight mode and toward what is sometimes called rest and digest, the parasympathetic state where the heart rate slows, breathing deepens naturally, and the body is finally allowed to recover from the day. This is not a metaphor. This is measurable physiology. Gratitude is not simply a pleasant thought. It is a biological state with a biological signature and a biological effect. There is a study from Indiana University that found something particularly beautiful in all of this. Researchers scanned the brains of people who had been practicing gratitude regularly and compared the strength of their neural responses to those who had not. What they found was that the longer someone had been practicing, the stronger the signal in the medial prefrontal cortex, that wise perspective-holding region, became. The effect did not plateau. It compounded. Like interest in a bank account, except the currency is something far more valuable than money. And a study published in 2023, a systematic review drawing on multiple research projects, found that people who engaged in gratitude practices reported not only higher levels of well-being, but measurably fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression. Not dramatically, not as a replacement for care when care is needed, but genuinely, consistently, in ways that could be detected and compared. Anxiety scores lower by nearly 8%, depression symptoms reduced by almost 7%. These are not large numbers, perhaps, but they are real. And they arrive simply from paying attention deliberately to what is good. A 2024 study drawing on data from the long-running Nurses' Health Study, work cited by researchers at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, found something that stops you in your tracks when you first encounter it. Women with high gratitude scores had a 9% lower risk of dying over the following 4 years compared to those with low scores. 9%. Just from the orientation of their attention, just from where their minds tended to come to rest. It is worth sitting with that for a moment, quietly. Something that does not get talked about enough is the difference between gratitude as a vague feeling and gratitude as a specific act. Most of us, when we try to be grateful, reach for the obvious and the large. A finding highlighted in 2026 made this explicit. Generic gratitude, the kind that says, "I am grateful for my health," or "I am grateful for the people in my life," may simply not reach deep enough into the brain's processing to produce the neural rewiring that more specific, detailed gratitude can achieve. The brain, it seems, needs something it can actually picture, something it can hold, something with texture and detail and a specific quality of light. Not "I am grateful for my friend," but "I am grateful for the way she laughed when I told her about that thing at work, the way it made the whole afternoon feel lighter, the way I drove home feeling like the day had actually been worth something." Not "I am grateful for this bed," but "I am grateful that this pillow is cool and that the weight of the blanket feels exactly right and that for this one night there is nowhere I have to be." The specificity is not a small detail. It is, in a way, the whole thing. Because the specificity is what makes the brain believe it. The specificity is what creates the felt sense, the actual warmth in the chest, rather than just the intellectual acknowledgement that yes, things could be worse. And this is where gratitude becomes something more than a habit. It becomes a practice of attention, a way of moving through the day with a slightly different quality of noticing. Not forcing positivity, not papering over what is genuinely hard, but developing the ability to catch the small good things before they pass unregistered. There is something almost like a muscle memory that develops over time. The brain, which was built to notice threats, begins also to notice gifts, not instead of the difficult things but alongside them. The negativity bias does not disappear, but it is no longer the only voice in the room. Researchers who study this describe it as the brain becoming more balanced in its perception of reality. Because here is the thing that is easy to forget when you are exhausted or anxious or sad. The good things are also real. The difficult things get most of the airtime inside your head, but they are not more real than the quiet moments of warmth and ease and connection that also happen in a day. Gratitude is simply a way of leveling the field. And here is something quietly wonderful. In a 2017 brain imaging study, researchers found that people who had practiced gratitude for just 3 weeks showed increased neural responses in a region associated with what they called pure altruism, a heightened orientation toward the well-being of others rather than just themselves. Gratitude, it turns out, does not make you more self-satisfied. It makes you more generous, more attuned, more able to recognize the humanity in the people around you. It opens something outward, not inward. This perhaps explains why, in a study of 800 descriptive words rated for likability, the word grateful landed in the top 4%. Not because grateful people perform gratitude, but because something about genuinely grateful people reads, to those around them, as warmth, as presence, as someone who sees you. Of all the things that gratitude does, the one most relevant to this particular moment, you lying here in the quiet, the day behind you, is what it does to sleep. The connection is not accidental, and it is not small. Researchers who study sleep have identified something they call pre-sleep cognitions, the thoughts that occupy the mind in the time between lying down and falling asleep. For many people, this window is not peaceful. It is where the day's unfinished business tends to gather. The conversation that didn't go right, the email that hasn't been answered, the worry that has no immediate solution but arrives anyway, reliable as a tide, just as the lights go off. These thoughts are not random. They are the brain doing what it was designed to do, reviewing, assessing, checking for unresolved threats. But in the context of trying to sleep, they are deeply counterproductive. They keep the nervous system alert. They hold the body in a mild but persistent state of readiness. They make the transition into sleep feel like something that has to be fought for rather than something that simply arrives. Gratitude, it turns out, changes the quality of these pre-sleep thoughts. People who practice gratitude regularly tend to enter the pre-sleep window with a different quality of mental content. Not necessarily happy thoughts, not forced cheerfulness, but a slightly broader view. The day contains not only its difficulties, but also its small graces, and a mind that has been trained to notice them carries those into the dark alongside the harder things. Studies have found that grateful people have more positive thoughts before sleep, fewer negative and anxious ones, and fall asleep more easily. Sleep quality, measured not just by subjective report, but by indicators like how often people wake, how rested they feel, how much daytime dysfunction they experience, improves. One analysis found that regular gratitude journaling was associated with a 25% increase in sleep quality. A 5-minute daily practice. 25%. The physiological explanation for this connects back to what we looked at earlier, Gratitude activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the one that governs rest. It reduces cortisol. It slows the heart rate. It brings the body gently out of the readiness state that stress creates and into something quieter. And when the body is quieter, sleep comes more easily and more deeply. There is also something happening in the brain's electrical activity during gratitude that is worth knowing about, because it is beautiful in its own way. When researchers measure the brainwaves of people engaged in gratitude meditation, they consistently find an increase in what are called alpha waves, a frequency of about 8 to 13 cycles per second, associated with relaxed alertness. Not sleep, not sharp focus, but the soft middle ground between them, the state where the day begins to loosen its hold. This is, not coincidentally, very close to the state the brain moves through on its way into sleep. Gratitude, in this sense, is not just a pleasant feeling to have before bed. It is almost a physiological preparation for it, a way of guiding the brain and body toward the conditions in which rest becomes possible. If you have ever had a night where you lay down and felt, unexpectedly, a kind of peace, a quiet sense that despite everything, the day had contained something worth having, and found that sleep came more easily on that night than on others, then you already know this. You have already experienced it. The science is simply a map of territory you have already walked through. We have been here for a little while now, you and this voice, moving through something that is both very old and, in its scientific detail, quite new. The idea that gratitude is not merely a virtue or a nicety, but a genuine measurable force in the body, that it changes the brain slowly and permanently, the way water changes stone, that it quiets the alarm systems, releases the chemicals of comfort, and prepares the nervous system for the deep rest it needs. None of this requires you to feel grateful right now. Not on demand. Not tonight, if tonight is hard. The understanding of it is enough for now. Just knowing that this capacity exists inside you, that it is built into your biology, that it is patient and waiting and does not require you to be in a particular mood to access it. That is something. In a moment, we're going to move from understanding into experience. Part 2 is a guided meditation, slow and unhurried, designed to lead you gently into the felt sense of gratitude rather than just the knowledge of it. Not a performance, not an instruction to feel something you don't feel. Just a quiet invitation to notice, with some guidance, what might already be present. For now, though, let the ideas settle. Let them drift down through you the way warmth does when you finally stop moving. You have been carrying today for long enough. The night is patient. The rest is coming. You are still here, still breathing softly in the quiet. And whatever you heard, whatever you felt, whatever small warmth moved through you during that first part, you can let it rest now too. You do not need to hold on to it. You do not need to remember it or carry it forward into sleep. It has already done its gentle work. It lives in you now, the way warmth lives in a stone after the sun has passed. You are allowed to simply be here, allowed to receive. That is all that is asked of you now. Nothing more than this. Nothing more than lying here breathing, letting the weight of the day and even the weight of reflection settle down, down, down into the surface beneath you. Let your eyes stay soft and closed. Let your hands rest just as they are. You have thought enough for today. You have felt enough, noticed enough, remembered enough. And now the night is asking something different of you. The night is asking you to stop reaching and simply arrive, to stop reviewing and simply rest, to let all of it, the gratitude, the memories, the small recognitions of what is good, to let all of it soften into the background, like music heard from another room, present but no longer demanding your attention. You are safe here. You are held. The bed beneath you is real and steady. The air around you is quiet and cool and clean. The darkness behind your closed eyes is gentle. It is not empty. It is soft. It is a softness that is waiting to receive you, the way deep water receives a stone, slowly, without resistance, without sound. Let yourself be received. Take a moment now just to notice how your body is lying. Not to change anything yet. Just to notice. The shape of you against the surface, the places where you are supported, the places where your weight is held without any effort from you at all. The mattress beneath your back, the pillow cradling your head, the warmth of the blanket across your body. You did not have to earn this comfort. It is simply here. It was waiting for you when you arrived, and it is still waiting, still offering itself, still asking nothing in return. There is a kind of quiet gratitude in noticing that, not the kind you have to think about or name, just the kind that moves through the body as a soft releasing. A small exhale of the chest, a loosening around the eyes. Let yourself receive that ease now. Let your body remember that it does not have to work tonight. It does not have to be anywhere. It does not have to perform or produce or solve. It has carried you faithfully through this entire day, and now it is allowed to rest. Every cell of it, every quiet, tireless part of it that has been working without your asking. Your heart, your lungs, the slow warmth of your blood, all of it doing its gentle work so that you can simply lie here and let go. There is something to be grateful for even in that. In the body that breathes for you while you sleep. In the fact that rest is coming now. Like a tide, like a season, like something that was always going to arrive. And now, gently, let your attention come to your breath. You do not need to change it. You do not need to make it deeper or slower or more deliberate than it already is. Just notice it, the way it moves in and out of you on its own, without any direction from you at all. It has been doing this your whole life, every night as you slept, every morning as you woke, every ordinary hour in between. The breath has been there, faithful and quiet, like a thread running through everything. Just notice it now. The soft rise of the chest or the belly as the breath comes in. The gentle fall as it releases. In, and out. You do not have to do anything with it. You only have to watch it the way you might watch the surface of a still lake. Noticing the small movement. Noticing the way it settles again after. And as you breathe, you might begin to feel the breath slowing, just slightly, all on its own. The body knows what it needs. The body knows it is time for rest, and the breath is beginning to reflect that knowing. Each exhale growing just a little longer, a little more complete, a little more willing to let everything go. You do not have to push it, you only have to follow. Breathing in and receiving, breathing out and releasing. Let the breath carry the last traces of the day away from you. Not with any effort, just the way a slow river carries leaves, without grasping, without rushing, each exhale simply taking with it whatever is no longer needed, a small tension you were holding without knowing it, a thought that was beginning to form, a memory that tried to visit. Let the breath carry it gently downstream. You are here. You are breathing. You are already beginning to rest. And now, very gently, let your awareness move to the very top of your head. The scalp. The crown. That place where, if you are honest, you may have been holding a kind of quiet tightness without even realizing it, the mind working, even now, at the edge of things. Let it soften. Imagine the scalp releasing, just slightly, as though it is expanding very gently outward. As though all the thinking and the noticing and the remembering of the day is being let go from the surface of the head, moving away, dissolving into the quiet air above you. You have thought enough. The crown of the head softens. The forehead releases. Let the space between your eyebrows smooth itself out. Not with effort, but with permission. You are allowed to let the brow be still. You are allowed to stop looking, even behind closed eyes. Let the eyes themselves grow heavy and soft in their sockets. Let them sink gently back. Let the lids feel like something warm and comfortable, like a blanket drawn over a window. The eyes rest. The cheeks soften. Let the muscles of the face release everything they have been holding, the small expressions you have worn today, the concentration, the concern, the smile, the effort. Let all of that drain away now. Let the face become neutral and still, soft as the face of someone dreaming of something gentle. The jaw. This is where so much is held, so much that we carry without knowing. Let the jaw release. Let the teeth part just slightly. Let the tongue rest loose and heavy in the mouth. Let the hinge of the jaw go soft, as though the whole lower face is simply giving up its work and letting gravity take over. Jaw, there is nothing to say now. Nothing left to speak or explain or ask. The mouth is still. The face is still. The whole head is growing heavier now, sinking deeper into the pillow, which receives it completely, which holds it without any effort from you at all. Let your awareness drift now to the neck. The long, quiet column of the neck, which has been holding the weight of the head all day without complaint. Let it release. Let the muscles along the sides of the neck go soft. Let the back of the neck lengthen slightly against the pillow. Let the throat be open and easy, the breath moving through it without resistance. And the shoulders. The shoulders carry so much. They carry the weight of what we are responsible for, the weight of what we are worried about, the weight of what we have not yet finished. And tonight, just for tonight, you are allowed to put it all down. You are allowed to let the shoulders drop, to let them fall open, just slightly, away from the ears, away from each other, as though they are releasing something they have been quietly gripping for hours. Let them fall. Let them be heavy. Let the whole broad surface of the upper back sink down into the mattress and feel how completely the mattress receives you. It does not ask you to hold yourself up. It does not need you to be strong. It is simply there, solid and warm and generous, holding you exactly as you are. The upper arms grow heavy now. The weight of the arms moving down through the elbows which soften and release. Down through the forearms which are resting now, which are done. Down through the wrists which let go of their last small tension. And the hands. Let the hands open just slightly. Let the fingers uncurl. Let the palms face upward or rest however they are most comfortable, soft and open like a gesture of receiving. Like the hands of someone who has nothing left to hold on to tonight and is grateful for that, Grateful for the emptiness of open hands. Grateful for the emptiness of open hands. Grateful for the rest. The hands are still. The arms are heavy. The whole upper body is sinking now, releasing, being held. Let the breath move through the chest. In, and the chest rises softly. Out, and it falls. Notice how the chest feels now. Whether there is any last tightness there, any last held breath, any last knot of the day. You do not have to fix it or analyze it. You only have to breathe into it gently and let the exhale carry it away. Let the chest be open. Let it be spacious. Let the heart inside it rest easy, knowing that it has done good work today, knowing that it is loved, knowing that it is safe. The belly. Let the belly be soft. This is one of the hardest things for a tired, anxious body to allow, to let the belly be completely soft. We hold so much there, so much that we are trying to protect. But tonight, you are protected. Tonight, there is nothing coming. Let the belly release. Let it rise and fall freely with each breath. Let it be warm and loose and easy. The breath moves down into the belly now. Rising, lolling. The lower back softens against the mattress. All the small muscles along the spine releasing, one by one, like lights going out in a building at the end of the night. One floor at a time. One room at a time. Quieter and quieter. The hips grow heavy. All the weight of standing, of moving, of carrying yourself through the day, all of it is released now. Let the hips be heavy. Let them press into the mattress and feel completely held. The whole pelvis releasing, the whole lower body beginning to feel very, very heavy. The thighs now, long and heavy and warm. The muscles of the thighs have worked hard today. They have carried you. Let them rest. Let them go completely loose, heavy as sandbags, heavy as something that has given up trying and found relief in it. The knees softening. Whatever small tension lives in the knees, let it dissolve. Let the joints be easy and loose. Let the legs lie still. Calves. The long muscles of the calves releasing all their stored effort. All the standing, all the walking, all the small adjustments of balance throughout the day. Let it all go. Let the calves be heavy. Let them sink. The ankles. The feet. The feet that have carried you through this entire day and every day before it, quietly, without asking for recognition. Let them rest now. Let the soles of the feet release. Let the toes uncurl and go soft. Let the feet be completely still, heavy and warm against the blanket, going nowhere, needing to go nowhere. You are completely still now. From the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, your body is heavy, warm, and still. You are not holding anything up. You are not holding anything together. You are simply lying here, being held, being received, being carried by the surface beneath you and the quiet darkness around you. Everything has been released. And in this stillness, this beautiful, heavy stillness, let your mind drift somewhere soft. Not somewhere you have to find or construct with effort, just somewhere that arrives gently, the way images arrive in the first moments before sleep. A soft place. A quiet place. a place where the light is low and warm and the air is easy to breathe. Perhaps it is a room you love, with the curtains drawn and a lamp burning low in the corner. Perhaps it is a place outside, somewhere in nature, where the sky is wide and the ground beneath you is soft. Perhaps it is somewhere you have been, or somewhere you have only imagined. It does not matter. It is yours. It is safe. And it is waiting for you. Let yourself arrive there now. Feel the ground beneath you in this place, whatever it is. Soft grass, warm sand, a comfortable bed in a quiet room. Feel how it holds you. Feel how completely it supports you. You do not have to hold yourself up here. You only have to let yourself be held. The air in this place is just the right temperature. Not too warm, not too cool, just the kind of air that the body receives without noticing, without having to adjust to. The perfect air for resting, the perfect air for letting go. And there is a quality of light here that is soft and low, like the last light of a long summer evening, or like the glow of candles in a room where everyone has grown quiet. The kind of light that asks nothing of your eyes. The kind of light that says, you can stop looking now. You can stop looking now. Let the eyes rest completely behind their closed lids. Let the face be soft in this gentle light. You are here. You are safe. And there is a warmth in this place that is beginning to move through you, like the warmth of a blanket settling over you, like the warmth that comes from being somewhere you belong. And as you rest in this soft, safe place, you might notice a feeling that does not need a name. A feeling that is simply warmth in the chest. A loosening. A quiet ease. The kind of feeling that sometimes comes at the end of a long day when you finally lie down and realize, without thinking it, that you are grateful to be here. That you are grateful to be breathing. That something in you, some small, quiet part of you, recognizes the gift of this moment, of this rest, of this softness. You do not have to amplify it or examine it. You do not have to feel it perfectly. It is simply there, like warmth in the chest, like a small light that does not need to be fed. Let it rest there. Let it be quiet. Gratitude does not always come as a thought. Sometimes it comes as a feeling in the body. A softening. A willingness to receive. A sense that what is here, right now, the breath, the warmth, the quiet, the rest, is enough, more than enough. Is, in fact, exactly what is needed. And so you receive it. You receive the breath. You receive the warmth. You receive the rest that is coming now, slowly and completely, like a tide coming in, like a season turning, like something that was always going to happen. You receive it without trying to hold it. You receive it the way sleep receives the mind, without effort, without grasping, without needing to understand it. The heaviness is spreading now. You can feel it moving through the body like something warm and slow, like honey, like deep water, like the feeling of sinking very gently into something soft. The arms are very heavy, the legs are very heavy, the whole body is heavy and warm and still. The mind is growing quieter. Thoughts are arriving less often now. And when one does arrive, you can simply watch it pass. Like a cloud moving across a wide, still sky. Like a leaf carried by a slow river. You do not have to follow it. You do not have to stop it. You only have to let it go. And it goes. And the sky is wide and still again. Another thought drifts through and goes. The sky is still. The sky is wide. You are the sky, and the thoughts are only weather passing through you, and you are much larger than any of them, and they pass, and you remain open and still and quiet. In your safe, soft place, the light is growing lower now. The warmth around you is deepening. You can feel the surface beneath you receiving you more completely, as though the more you release, the more it is able to hold you. As though the body and the bed and the quiet darkness are all working together, gently, to bring you deeper into rest. There is a sound here, perhaps? A very soft sound. The kind of sound that does not ask to be listened to, but simply accompanies. The low hum of the world at rest. Wind very gently somewhere far away. Or the soft sound of rain on a roof that is not your own. Distant and rhythmic and soothing. Or simply the quiet, the deep, full quiet of a night that has settled into itself. You are settling into yourself. You are going deeper. Each breath carries you a little further from the surface of the day. Each exhale releases a little more. Each moment of stillness is a little stiller than the last. You are sinking. You are sinking. Gently, completely, into the warmth, into the dark, into the rest that has been waiting for you. The body is very heavy now. You could not move it even if you wanted to. It is too heavy. It is too warm. It is too deep in the soft place it has found. And there is no reason to move. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to do. Only this. Only the breath. Only the warmth. Only the slow, steady rhythm of the body at rest. Your heart is beating slowly and steadily in your chest. You can feel it if you listen. That faithful, quiet drum that has never once stopped for you, that has never once asked for your attention, that has simply been there, beating, all your life, all through every night you have ever slept, every dream you have ever had. It is beating now, slow and steady, a rhythm like the tide, like the breath, like the turning of the earth. You are part of something very large and very slow and very quiet. You are part of the night. You are part of the rest that every living thing takes, every creature, every leaf, every stone cooling in the dark. You are resting with all of it. You are held by all of it. And there is a gratitude in that too, somewhere beneath the words, beneath the thoughts, in the body itself. A gratitude that does not need to be spoken or remembered. A gratitude that is simply the body releasing, simply the chest opening, simply the breath slowing down and down and down. Slower now. The thoughts are very far away. The day is very far away. There is only the warmth, only the weight of the body, heavy and still. Only the breath moving in and out like something ancient and unhurried. You are nearly there. You are nearly at the place where the words stop and the rest begins. That soft threshold. That quiet door. It is right here. That just ahead. And all you have to do is let yourself move through it. You are not falling. You are arriving. Arriving at the rest you have earned. At the quiet you deserve. At the sleep that is already here, already surrounding you, already moving through you like warmth through water. Let the body be completely still. Let the mind be empty and wide. Let the breath do what it knows how to do. Let the warmth hold you. Let the dark be soft. You are grateful. Not with effort, just with the breath, just with the stillness, just with the simple, quiet fact of being here, being held, being allowed to rest. Breathing, warm, place, curvy, gain, safe. The breath, the quiet, the dark,